An educational video by Patanjali Rishikul. Class 1. Subject Spoken English and Personality Development.
Good morning, children. Have you ever felt lost in an airport trying to use your English? In today's class, you will learn the most important airport vocabulary to help you on your next trip and make you more confident. So let's enjoy our trip to an airport.
Topic Airport Vocabulary. What is airfare? The price paid by an aircraft passenger for a particular journey is airfare. What is an airline? The company that owns the plane is called an airline. What is a boarding pass? The flight ticket does not allow you to board the plane. You must have a boarding pass. Boarding pass includes seat numbers, departure times, and gates. You should be at the airport at least 2 hours before the scheduled departure time of your flight. Only passengers with boarding passes are taken in. At this time, your checked luggage will be weighed, labeled, and handed off to baggage handlers. What is an airport? An airport is where all airplanes land, take off in the sky, and reside when they are not flying. An airport is made up of multiple buildings, each serving a specific purpose, including terminals, gates, and hangars. Some even have control towers. Airports also have special roads called runways where the airplanes take off and land. Hangars. No, I don't mean the hangers you hang your clothes on. That's even spelled differently. The hangars of an airport are the holding areas for the airplanes. When airplanes aren't flying, the hangars store the airplanes. Think of it as like your bedroom with you sleeping in your bed. Boarding an aircraft. For boarding an aircraft, air stairs or jetways are used. Small aircraft may carry their own stairs. Airlines control the access to the aircraft by checking passengers' boarding passes and matching them with the list of passengers and their identification cards. Why must you wear a seatbelt in plane? An airplane seatbelt is a passenger's best protection against any sudden or unexpected airplane movements. Turbulence is a bumpy ride that can cause passengers who are not wearing their seatbelts to be thrown from their seats without warning. In flight, turbulence is the leading cause of injuries to both airline passengers and flight attendants. It is must to wear a seatbelt when the seatbelt sign is illuminated. For passengers who refuse to wear seatbelts when the sign is illuminated, a fine is imposed in some countries on them. What do you mean by boarding time? Your boarding ticket specifies boarding time, which is when boarding starts, not when it ends. Usually, the boarding starts even after the printed time, but for short flights, at least 30 minutes before departure. For international flights on large aircraft, sometimes at least 45 minutes. Takeoff. Takeoff is the phase of flight in which an aircraft leaves the ground and gets into the air, usually starting on a runway. Takeoff is the opposite of landing. What is a row in an airplane? A line of seats on the plane from the aisle to the window is called a row. What is an overhead bin? Overhead bin is a common compartment located above the seats, which is meant to store the luggage of the passengers. The overhead bin allows flyers to reserve a specific space for their carriage. Whether it is a free or for a fee would be up to the airline. Oxygen mask. Passenger emergency oxygen masks are installed in all airplanes to provide supplemental oxygen to each person in the airplane cabin in the event of a cabin decompression. Normally, the air pressure inside the plane's cabin provide sufficient oxygen for breathing. Life vests. Life vests are worn when the aircraft has made an emergency water landing. They can be found underneath the seat or armrest, etc., so that they can be taken out immediately. Put it over your head to wear. Steward or stewardess, flight attendant, is a man or a woman who takes care of passengers on the plane. Landing. Landing is the last part of a flight where a flying aircraft or spacecraft returns to the ground. When the flying aircraft returns, the process is commonly called landing or touchdown.